Hello peeps and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger, Season 5. I think this is Episode 6. I'm kind of a little bit out of it today because I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I wanted to record something for you guys anyway, so here I am. Alright, so last episode we made ourselves some really awesome Tinker's tools, and this episode I had mentioned that I wanted to get started on bees because I always forget about them until like really late in the series. And they're just too good not to get into early. But I'm having a little bit of a problem that I want to deal with first. That problem is that I am just acquiring crap tons of cobblestone. And I can't really use it for much at the moment. So we are going to make ourselves something that is going to help us with this problem. You can see I've done a little bit of wood farming off camera. Got a couple of stacks of it. I also went and sheared some sheep, so I got some wool floating around. But we are going to make ourselves a barrel from Java. And we're going to put that barrel probably just right here. That'll work. Barrels allow us to hold up to 64 stacks of a single item in one spot. So now we can put all of our cobblestone in here and not have to worry too much about storage. Yeah, I mean, take a look at that. 44 stacks of cobblestone just sitting there taking up room in chests. Well, it's not anymore, so that's good. Alright, to get started with bees, first of all, you have to have the bees, which requires you to make a scoop. Just like that. Piece of wool, few sticks. That's all you need. Now, when you're going around the world, there are a couple of different types of beehives. And not all of them are for forestry. Forestry bees are the ones that we want to get and that we want to play with because they're the ones that give you the really good stuff and that you can crossbreed into other types of bees that give you really good stuff and so on and so forth. But there are, in the world, some Pam's Harvestcraft beehives that are not the same thing. So if you're walking around the world and you see a beehive attached, especially if it's attached to a tree, take a look at it, and if it says Pam's Harvestcraft, be aware that it is a bee, but it's a different type of bee, and it might not work the way you're expecting it to if you try to put it into a forestry apiary. As a matter of fact, it won't work the way you expect it to. So we're going to come out this way, and we're just looking for some beehives. Man, there are a lot of sheep out here. Should have come out here to shear. Yeah, like this beehive up here. This beehive up here, if we come take a look at it, this is a Pam's Harvestcraft beehive. This is not going to work for forestry. So it's good to know we've got one there, but for the moment, it doesn't really do us any good. What we're looking for is one of those. And we come out here, this is a forestry beehive, specifically a meadows hive, which is one of the basic types of hives, which is good because it's exactly what we need to get started. I really wish I knew where there was a forest hive, because forest hives are the other type of hive that you really need to get started with bees. Although, with magic and extra bees installed, maybe that's not the case. One of the nice things about NEI, when it comes to forestry, is that you can use it to look up and see how to make bees. Let's see. There are 44 recipes that will lead to common stock. It looks like we can use rocky and meadows to get common. So if we can find a rock hive, that should work too. Or water. We can use water. We could use modest, we could use tropical. kind of wondering if you can use any of the magical bees. Wintry, marshy. Aha, yeah, we can use attuned. Or we could use mystical. So yeah, we can use some of the special bees that were added by magic bees too, if we can't find what we need as far as a forest hive. Oh, but hey, speak of the devil, there's a forest hive. Just sitting there attached to a tree. Great place for a forest hive to be, I guess. Alright. Now, to get out of this valley, I'm gonna have to go back around. And it's getting to be dark, so that's not really a good thing. I've been getting more and more frequent visits from the creeper mafia. I would rather avoid any visits tonight. Alright, so we're going to head home, we're going to sleep through the night, and then we're going to get our bees going. We're going to just kind of ignore that world hole. Oh hey, there's another hive down here. Awesome. And we'll have to check our stock when we get back and see what kind of stock we got. I'm not even going to hope that my luck is good enough to have gotten 2 pristines as my first bees. Would be nice if it happened, but I'll explain that when I get home. Right now, I don't really want to stop, because if I stop, creepers are going to come get me. I already had to chase one away from my front door this morning. Whee! Alright, we'll sleep through the night, and we'll get a look at our bees, and then we'll take a look at what we need to make our bees happy and productive. As soon as we check and make sure we're not about to get creeped. Nope, looks like we're good. Alright, so, the bees that we got a Meadows of Ignoble stock, we got a Forest Pristine, and a Forest Ignoble. Pristine stock means that there is absolutely nothing genetically wrong with the bee. It is in perfect condition, and it will quite happily breed more princesses for you and continue going absolutely forever, no questions asked, 0 fucks given. Ignoble stock means that there is some sort of genetic flaw in the bee's bloodline, as it were, and that at some point in time, it could be the first time it breeds, it could be 30 generations down the road, but at some point in time, that bee is going to die off instead of producing a princess. So, it's just one of those things that you kind of need to keep an eye on if you're planning on doing a lot of work with bees, is knowing whether or not your stock is going to continue producing for you down the road. I'm just going to dam up this water because I don't mind having the water flow, but I do mind that it slows me down so much when I'm trying to walk. We're just going to take a quick look over here and see if we can find another Meadows hive, because I would really like to have 2 pristines to get started. It's not necessary, unless you've got really horrible luck. Even an ignoble bee will usually breed through several generations. Ooh, there's a hive. It's not what I was after, but we'll take it. You are an unusual bee, but you're ignoble. That's great. Now, once we get a little further in to the bee mods, we can take care of the whole ignoble bee problem using gendistry. But I don't have anywhere near the infrastructure or the power supply yet to deal with industrial beekeeping. So right now we're just wanting to get a basic start on it. There's another forest hive though. Or no, that's a curious hive. That gave us mysticals, but they're ignoble. That's amazing. Kind of want to take a little bit of a peek towards the water and see if we can find a water hive. They're usually in shallows though, they usually aren't in deep water. So I'm doubting I'm going to see anything here, but still worth a look. Yeah, nothing in particular note here. I'm just going to head back and get started with my beekeeping, and then off camera I will go take a look around, explore a little bit, and see if I can find some more hives. For right now, let's just head back and get started with the beekeeping. As soon as I grab myself a bite to eat. Oink. Alright. Can put away this dirt, the sticks, the mundane combs. We'll put the honeycombs in there too. Get rid of that feather. Grab ourselves some beef Wellington. Have us a bit of a nom. And it looks like something happened to my progressive automation machine here. Yep, my hatchet broke. So, need to repair my hatchet before it can do any more work for me. I know I got some flint around here somewhere. Now, you might be wondering why it is I don't just put a better axe in this thing. And the reason would be is because this is only a stone chopper. And stone choppers can only use stone level tools. So it can use a mining level of iron, but that's only because a stone tool usually has a mining level of iron anyway. If I want to use something that's going to have a higher mining level, I need to upgrade this chopper. And right now, I don't really want to waste the materials doing that, especially since I have a lumber axe and I can just chop down huge amounts of trees anyway. I might do it later, once I have some resources to spare and I just don't want to think about it too much, but not right now. Alright, for beekeeping, you need one thing in particular. You need apiaries. And why can I not look up the recipe for an apiary? And I don't even remember the normal recipe for apiaries. Apparently my forestry plugin is not working. That could be an issue. Yeah, the plugin that I use for forestry recipe handling is not working. I'll have to see if I can figure out why off camera, and then push a pack update that'll have the proper plugin handler. For right now, though, let me actually, because I seriously can't remember the recipe. Let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, that's right. We're gonna need creosote or seed oil before we can even think about doing that. So We could get started with bee houses, or we could just say screw it and go straight to gendustry. I'm thinking I might actually just go straight to gendustry, if that's going to be the case, because I can get creosote. It's gotten from the coke ovens that Railcraft uses, and I could get seed oil, but it's kind of a pain in the early game if you don't have a good established farm to get seeds from, or some sort of nut tree is actually where most of your seed oil is going to come from. So let's just take a look at the industrial apiary. Now, it's going to be a little bit expensive, but it's going to be bronze gears, pistons, sturdy casings, glass, and bee receptacles. The bee receptacles are just weighted pressure plates, which is made out of gold, glass panes, bronze, and redstone. So what we're taking away from this is we need a little bit of iron, we need a lot of bronze, we need a bit of gold, and we need some redstone. We're also going to need just a bit of cobble and a bit of wood. Alright, I have 4 sets of bees that I want to get going. I want to get the meadows, the forest, the mystical, and the unusual going. So I want to make 4 of these industrial apiaries. It means I'm going to need 4 pistons. I'm going to need 4 of these bee receptacles, which means we need 4 of these pressure plates, which means I actually need a little more gold than what I've got. Of course, I don't have any in here. I'm going to have to go grab a block. No, I didn't want to make 64 buttons. Damn it. Can't recombine those, can you? No, but you can use them to make hand drills or button covers. Whatever. Meant to break down the gold, accidentally broke down the wood. That's fine. We don't care. It's just wood. I'm trying to sleep because I know it's going to be dark real soon. Let me sleep. Sleep is good. There we go. Alright. One more pressure plate. We're going to need some glass panes, which I've got some in here. We're also going to need just some glass, which I have a bunch of it around here that I've cooked up. Don't think that's actually going to be enough. So I might actually want to get some more glass cooking up if I have any sand. I have a little bit. We'll get that going. Okay. Bee receptacles. Need bronze. Okay, there's our 4 bee receptacles. We're going to need 4 sturdy casings. We're going to need 8 bronze gears, which there's a couple of different ways you can get bronze gears. You can surround a stone gear with 4 bronze. You can put a 4 bronze around iron. Or there's now also a gear cast which you can use with Tinker's Construct to make gears. That works also. But I think what we're going to do, bronze gear, wood gear, yeah. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to use the good old-fashioned method of putting it around iron. Because we have a decent amount of iron. What we don't have is enough bronze. So we need to get a little more bronze. Let's disable the auto output there. We have enough bronze for 4 gears, which is enough to make 2 apiaries. And those apiaries I'm just going to park right over here for now. Alright, no queen, no power. That's right, these things actually require power. It's going to require 20 RF a tick to run this thing right now. We got bronze, good. Give me one more block here. No, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, we got our block of bronze. We're going to take a little more iron because we're going to need it. We need to make 4 more gears. That's going to get us 2 more industrial apiaries. This is actually pushing me a little further along the tech line than I wanted to go this early, but we don't really have much of a choice unless I want to spend the time making seed oil, and I don't. Later on, maybe, but I mean, if I'm going to get started with Gendustry this early anyway, I may as well just roll with it. We're going to need a couple of flowers for these bees to work with, so we're just going to put a couple of flowers there. We're going to need power supplied to these things. Now, there's a couple of different ways to get power, but for the early game, I think what I'm going to use is just a simple steam dynamo. The steam dynamo from thermal expansion uses copper, redstone transmission coil, which is silver and redstone, and a piece of redstone. It takes in water, and it takes in a solid fuel, burns the fuel for heat, heats the water for steam, and then uses the steam to produce power for you. Overall, it's a fairly cheap source of early game power. So we're going to make ourselves 2 copper gears. We need a piece of silver, which I neglected to grab while I was out here. We're also going to need some lead and some Invar probably. We don't need ferrous, we need silver. May as well grab the bronze. And we'll grab a block of copper too. Copper, bronze. Now there is a different way that I could have gone with this. Forestry does offer a bee house, which will allow you to breed your bees, or at least get some products out of your bees, but it doesn't allow any chance of mutation. And bees are all well and good, but better bees are better. And you can't get the better bees until you have at least the apiary. So that's why I went straight for the industrial apiary instead of having a little bit of patience or just using the cheaper bee house. That gets us a steam dynamo. Now, we need some way to transmit the power, and preferably some way to store the power. So, to store the power, we're going to make ourselves an energy cell. We're going to start with a leadstone energy cell frame, and then we're going to very quickly upgrade that with some Invar to get a hardened energy cell frame. Because there's no point in having a leadstone energy cell when you can have a hardened one, considering that the cost of a hardened energy cell is just a little bit of Invar. We need some lead, we need a redstone conductance coil, and we need some electrum. So I think I already made a little bit of electrum. If not, I'll need to make some. No, I don't have any electrum in here, so we'll take a block of gold and a block of silver. And we'll melt these two down to get a block of electrum. I need to go get some of this wood out of my inventory. The wood, I don't need the cobblestone anymore. I am likely going to need a little more redstone. Don't need the wood. Already covered that. And I'm also going to need a way to provide infinite water. The easiest way to do that is going to be using extra utilities. Specifically, using transfer pipes. Stone slabs, glass, redstone. So we need a little bit of smooth stone. Got one piece there. Here we go. There's some more redstone if I need it. Okay, this is going to get us 2 sets of stone slabs. Two sets of transfer pipes. Oh, this will get us 2 sets of transfer pipes. And we are going to need a liquid transfer node, which is lapis, a block of redstone, a bucket, and iron. Or you can swap the block of redstone for ender pearls to get 4. But right now, I don't have enough ender pearls to waste them on that. I'm just going to use the block of redstone. Because redstone for me is essentially an infinite resource right now. I need the block of iron. What's going on here? We're out of lava. Gonna have to go get some more lava to fuel the thing. Gonna need a bucket anyway, so we'll go ahead and just make that bucket now. We'll head down to the depths, grab a bucket of lava, fuel the thing up, and then we'll make our transfer node. We'll get our power infrastructure set up, and we'll be good to go. I love how I went from, oh, I don't have the infrastructure necessary to do industrial beekeeping right now, to let's just do industrial beekeeping because I'm too lazy. I mean, I was going to do it at some point eventually anyway, so I might as well just get over it, huh? Alright, let's go find ourselves a little bit of lapis. And we're going to make ourselves, we need a block of redstone. That's going to make us a liquid transfer node. we're also going to need a world interaction upgrade. Because transfer nodes by themselves, if you put it on the side of a container that has liquid, it'll work perfectly fine. But if you just put it over top of a water source now, it's not going to do anything. In order for it to be able to interact with the water source, you have to have the world interaction upgrade, which is an iron pickaxe, 4 bits of iron, 4 bits of lapis. I always get that wrong. Okay, world interaction upgrade. Let's grab our water bucket that I saw in here. And we're going to be setting this dynamo up probably right here, which means we're going to want probably 2 below it. Okay, we're going to put a bucket of water there. So I like hiding things when I can. Oh, we got an egg. Hail Mary! No chicken. Oh well. Alright, now that we've got that there, we will put down a piece of dirt so that we have some place to put the transfer node. Put the transfer node on top of it, break the dirt block out from under it, and add the world interaction upgrade, and we now start getting water. Put down the dirt, put down the steam dynamo, and if we take a look, internal storage is now full of water. By now, we should have our electrum. We'll get 2 blocks of that, because we melted down 2 blocks of the base metals. There we go. So, hardened energy cell is the hardened energy cell frame, copper, and a conductance coil. There's our conductance coil, and we do copper with the hardened energy cell frame and the conductance coil, and that gets us our hardened energy cell. We're also going to need some ducts to transfer this energy. We're going to need flux ducts. We could use the leadstone ones because they are capable of transferring 200 RF a tick, but the hardened flux ducts aren't that much more expensive. So we're going to start off with a few leadstone flux ducts after I get some more glass, apparently. Of all the things to be short of, it's always glass. The worst part is I just went and dug up another stack of sand to make glass. I don't think there's any sand left over here, is there? Oh yeah, there is. This magnet ring is nice. Need to chop down my trees soon. Alright, let's get this glass cooking up. Need just a little bit more fuel pellets in there. We need 2 glass to get this started. So there's 1. And 2. Okay, leadstone flux ducts. We get 6 of them for some redstone, some lead. Actually, I only needed 1, nah. Oh well. And then hardened flux ducts is just a bit more redstone and some invar. So we'll just go ahead and up them straight to that. Now, did I already make a crescent hammer? I don't think I did because I haven't had a need for one yet. Well, we have a need for one now. So come down here, we'll grab a piece of tin. And the crescent hammer is just a piece of tin with some iron, which I don't have. Son of a... One of these days I'll get my head on straight and have everything that I need. Or I'll just get sick of it and build an AE system and be done with it. One of the two. Alright, we're going to put the energy cell there. We'll get this set up for right now. We need to receive on the left side. We need to transmit on the... or receive on the left, transmit on the right. So, we're going to just receive from all directions except for the right. Blue means it's receiving. Orange means it's transmitting. White means it's non-interactive. Alright, iron, 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 tin gets us a crescent hammer, which is the wrench from thermal expansion. We need to put down our hardened flux ducts for our apiaries. And we're also going to put one down there. And we're going to give this a whack with the crescent hammer until it apparently does nothing. There we go. Now we're connected. Alright, we have water. All we need to do is give this some charcoal. And it will very quickly heat up, start filling up with steam, and it is now transmitting 80 RF tick, which is going into the hardened energy cell, and it is transmitting to our industrial apiaries. This is going to provide just enough power to keep these apiaries running. Now, all we need to make the apiaries really run is some bees. Let's go ahead and throw our meadows bees in this one. They're going to start combining. Princess and drone equals queen. And the queen is now working. She's requiring 20 RF a tick. The temperature here is normal, the humidity is normal, which is exactly what she wants to be happy. So she is working perfectly fine. No problems. Here we're going to do the same thing with the forest princess. We're going to use the pristine bee. There we go. Our forest queen is now working. Here we're going to use our unusual bees. When they finish combining, we're going to see that they are perfectly fine and happy. And here we're going to use our mysticals. There we go. We are combined. We're using 20 RF a tick, and everyone's happy. Now, the apiaries aren't going to gain any power, but they're not going to lose any power. They're getting exactly what they need to operate right now. This dynamo puts out the perfect amount of power to handle 4 apiaries. So, for right now, we can just walk away and forget about this for a while. However, this is not automated yet. We are probably going to want to augment this system a little bit so that we can actually automate it so that we don't have to come back and worry about, well, once these bees die off, it's going to give us a meadows queen and it's going to give us a meadows princess. Hopefully it's ignoble. It could potentially die. And a couple of drones. But it's not going to automatically recombine them for us. We have to do that by hand. Now, and if you're using just straight up forestry, you can automate that to an extent using pipes, but Gendustry has a much smarter way of handling it, and we will get into that next episode. For right now, this has been Nightdagger with episode 6 of Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger Season 5. We're going to come up here, sleep through the night, let our bees do some work, and do a little more poking around in the world, I think. Get some stuff ready for next episode, and then for episode 7 we'll come back and we'll go about making our bees a little bit smarter. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll catch you later, peeps.